Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby Beyond Forever Sports. So, a very interesting story and a very interesting situation. Not a good one either, really, with the some of the major unions, particularly the Sharks, Bulls, Stormers, and the Lions. So, the four URC unions are currently embattled with a potential, or could come a potential legal dispute with SA Rugby regarding the fees being charged to host Springbok matches in 2024. And this is something that apparently is going to be dealt with in a general council meeting, which is actually taking place today as we speak. And so it'll be a good idea to get a video out so we give quite a bit of context, and then hopefully we'll have a bit of some feedback or an update regarding exactly what the current situation is. Right, so before we get into this, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And the reason there are issues is apparently SA Rugby have requested a combined 85 million rand in fees for hosting the 6 tests in South Africa. So these are from the unions themselves. So they are charged, they are requesting fees from the Bulls for the game that's going to be played at Loftus, for example. Now, the unions host these games, and this is what SA Rugby's justification is. Basically saying if they make the money off the games. And basically what SA Rugby is saying is that this money, or the money, or the money that being made, goes into SA Rugby and then goes back into the unions, but it goes into all 14 unions as opposed to just the 6 unions that are going to host the games, for example. You know, that's kind of the whole thing with SA Rugby. So all the money comes to the SA Rugby, and then it's divided into Springbok budget, Blitzbox budget, Springbok women budget, for example, Craven Week, SA 20s, SA schools, all those sort of structures, as well as then payouts to unions so that they can run their systems. Interestingly enough, so basically, those 4 sides have requested legal opinion about it. Interestingly enough, Cheetah CEO Ross van Renen has said that they will not stand with the unions and they are happy to pay for the fees, basically. So Cheetah's very much not looking to ruffle the feathers, and I think Johannes trying to remain on the better sort of side of SA Rugby. So that itself is quite interesting. But yeah, in terms of what happened, Mark Alexander has actually fired back at the unions to say that to read about it in the press was very concerning, and apparently they have not spoken to SA Rugby directly about it just yet. Speaking about it, he talked about the costs and the goodwill that apparently SA Rugby is showing to local unions. This is what he had to say. He said, "We have strategically allocated tests to our unions, the ones who have stadiums, and that was done to boost their season tickets, hospitality suites, as well as assist them in generating additional revenue." That's a lot of rubbish. I mean, we've strategically allocated tests to our unions. Well, where were you going to play? You know, like... Don't come here and make it seem as if you're doing them a favor by having a Springbok game at Ellis Park. Of course, you're having a Springbok game at Ellis Park. You know, it's where else are you going to play? You're trying to take the entire Springboks season overseas. So that was a bit of a strange one for me. You know, I think what he more means in terms of which games are going to get where and stuff like that. But I mean, that's as a product, for example, that's down to SA Rugby. Benefit. You know, they want to be playing at world-class. They have to be playing at world-class stadiums. They have to have world-class facilities. They have to have big crowds. They have to be in key destinations. You know, you want to be bringing New Zealand to the best cities and the best sort of that we can offer down here. You want to be bringing your commercial partners to these sort of stadiums, stuff like that. So, you know, to phrase it basically like they're doing these unions a favor by having games at the stadiums. Bit of a weird one. He said that it's unique because we're the only international rugby union that allocate tests to members. Internationally, if you look at what test revenue brings in for organizations, like 48 million pounds last year, and that's our hospitality, we've been more than generous to assist our franchise in generating additional funds for them. What shocked me was to read about it in the press without talking to us first. The first time we saw it was published in the press. But we'll deal with our members forum on Thursday. He said, "We thought we were assisting them and showing goodwill, allocating tests where around the world that's part of the union's main revenue stream." He said that for unions to complain to pay for the test guarantee, what's the test guarantee for? The test guarantee is because we have to pay for the services of the Springboks. We have to pay for the costs of our guests. We have to pay for activation of our test venues and advertising that goes around it. There is a cost involved, and the number that we're asking for is small, considering the revenue they can generate. The revenue on a 50,000-seater stadium is a minimum 45 million to 50 million rand. He then said that money could be shared among all 14 unions, but we're assisting the bigger unions because we understand that they're the golden goose because they play at a different level to the rest. But to read about it in the press is a sad day, deal with it with our members forum. Apparently, one of the administrators within one of the unions then chipped back and said, well, he's done the exact same thing. He said he's come out and said that he's disappointed to hear about it in the press, and then he's gone to the press and spoken about his disappointment about hearing it in the press. So it's an interesting situation. You can kind of sort of see both sides. At the end of the day, SA Rugby have got to obviously cover the costs and stuff like that. But we also are talking about our unions, which have really struggled post-COVID. They don't have the ridiculous broadcast revenue, for example, that the Springboks get from an SA Rugby, for example. SA Rugby now looking to sell their commercial or sell a stake in their commercial entity, for example, for big money as well. So you look at the money that SA Rugby is bringing in and then being divided amongst the other unions. These unions are not. They're struggling. We've seen it, the fact that they're not getting. SA Rugby made the decision to move to URC and EPCR. Well, the members' council made that decision. But we've also seen the fact that they're not getting much money from the URC. I think this season will be the first season that we do get money out of the URC, as well as then the EPCR in the next few years. So these unions have struggled over the past few years. So it's you can kind of understand why any sort of money that they have to bleed is big money for them. And also you kind of feel they've got the position of power, because what are you going to do? You're going to not play Springbok rugby at Kings Park, DHL Stadium, Ellis Park, or Emirates Airline Park, and Loftus Versfeld, the four biggest rugby stadiums and the four most iconic rugby stadiums in the country. You're not. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll wait to see, and we'll give you an update as soon as we do get any information. But what do you think of the situation? Down in the comments below. Please just smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We'll see you guys all very soon. My name is Steve. Thank you for watching.